into dream reality, dream interpretation, dream analysis, and the dream state. This is Journal of the Dreamscapes. I'm your host, Joseph Evaldi, and this is
Ricky Bearhart here.
And on tonight's podcast, we're going to do a new format. Previously, we've done both of my dreams or meditation. In this podcast, we're going to do my dream and a famous person's dream.
Experimentation with the rebranding, which is all over the Joseph Evaldi network this year. And, we may go back to the old format, but right now we're trying something new, and it sounds like it's going to be a cool situation. So, now Wolfman's going to let us have it with the first dream.
Now, in your honest opinion, what should I start with first?
Yours.
Start with mine, okay.
There's not even a shadow of doubt in my mind.
Okay, let me start with mine then.
Yep.
On August 28th of 2009, I had a dream of my brother getting injured with his teeth for a hockey game. We were going to the mall, and he gets protection for his teeth. I guess you know how the teeth are with the mouth guard. That's what I'm referring to. Then we have a conversation at work. He says, "I'm going to work. I'm going to work a lot." And then I said, "I'm going to pick up more hours when the holiday shows up." And I visualized myself writing down this material in the book. And we were sided at one another. He had made a video for a song. The world. See, this is the thing. The world blizzard, I think I put it. The world blizzard referred to what was going on in my mind. But I crossed it out, I think. I'm not sure it gets interesting.
Well,
but then I said the mission was that there was war. So somehow, some way, I lined out and I crossed out war. That's the dream.
Well, now it's time for the interpretation part. So, do you remember the day of that dream and how that dream made you feel when you woke up? Or is it too long ago?
I remember bits and pieces. It was a long time ago.
Well, were you concerned for your brother in the immediate aftermath of it? Did you ever tell him about that dream?
No, I haven't.
So the concern couldn't have been very mounting if you had never told him.
No.
So we go now into Gustavus Henman Miller's book, 10,000 Dreams, or What's in a Dream, which was written about 100 years ago. And it's a dream interpretation book of that generational spirit. Now, as far as I'm aware, the reason that this journal to the Dreamscape does what it does is that we take multiple dream interpretation books and we use them to match generational spirits so that you can get this dream interpretation from multiple angles. So in this particular instance, I'm going to focus on the notion of a dream about injury. And that's the first search because his brother, Wolfman's brother's mouth got injured. So the first thing is injury, and then we'll go to teeth. Right now, I'll read the inquiry here. To dream of an injury being done to you signifies that an unfortunate occurrence will soon grieve and vex you. Was he grieved or vexed by some sort of unfortunate occurrence? Or were you around that time?
I don't know, it was just so long ago. It was I mean, there was the death of my brother's stepdad around. I don't know if it was around that time or 2 years after, but I don't know.
They may be unrelated. Looking into hurt, which was referenced from injury. If you hurt a person in your dreams, you will do ugly work revenging and injuring. If you are hurt, you will have enemies who will overcome you. So those are those two. And now we'll go to teeth. Because it was his teeth that were specifically hurt in the dream.
After you read that, before you do that, could I read something what they say on the mouth in my book?
Go right ahead. It's your turn. As far as I'm concerned, I'm looking it up.
This is from the Illustrated Encyclopedia of Symbols, Signs, and Dream Interpretation by Mark O'Connell, Rajay Airy, and Richard Craig. This is on page 165, and it's on the mouth. As the organ of speech and the breath, the mouth embodies the power of the spirit and the inspiration of the soul, an elevated state of consciousness, and the ability to reason and communicate, though it's associated with eating the mouth, is always linked with destruction, as with the mouth of a monster. In Christian iconography, the entrance to hell is a fanged demon's mouth. The medieval artists depicted small demons flying from a person's mouth to signify evil words or lies. And also, he says, in African sculptures, teeth can indicate a creature's terrifying power to consume, although they can also be associated with strength and growing wisdom. In Persian and European love, poetry, teeth are frequently compared to pearls.
Well, that's pretty trippy angle to take there. That's a cool book. When was that book published? Just for my own interest. Because I think these things should be compared generationally, you know. While he's looking that up, folks, I'm going to read out of Gustavus Hinman Miller's book, 10,000 Dreams, or What's in a Dream, going to the teeth entry, okay? Yeah, because the mouth injury did happen to the dream brother. So it says in his teeth entry, an ordinary dream of teeth augurs an unpleasant contact with sickness or disquieting people. If you dream that your teeth are loose, there will be failures and gloomy tidings. If the doctor pulls your tooth, you will have desperate illness. If not fatal, it will be lingering. To have them filled, you will recover lost valuables after much uneasiness. If they're filled, To clean and wash your teeth foretells that some great struggle will be demanded of you in order to preserve your fortune. To dream that you are having a set of teeth made denotes that severe crosses will fall upon you. You will strive to throw them aside. If you lose your teeth, you'll have burdens which will crush your pride and demolish your affairs. To have a dream that your teeth are knocked out denotes sudden misfortune. Either your business will suffer or deaths or accidents will come close to you. Did any of these things, I'm not done with the entry because it's long. Apparently teeth were of great preoccupation to this particular generation. Because there's lots of angles for this teeth dream, but...
Well, let me just give you, like, history of...
Without getting too much in detail about it.
Let me just give a little history of teeth, because when you're at the dentist's office, and you're sitting there at the dentist's office, and you're sitting on the chair, you notice a whole history of teeth, meaning the medical thing of it, when dentistry was found, when they came up with a toothbrush, and all that other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just say, they took teeth very seriously back then.
Well, look, man, that's dentistry. What I'm talking about is, in the dream, your brother loses his teeth. Now, I read all that stuff about demolishing pride and business, suffering in business, suffering loss. Now, did your brother have any of that stuff, or does this have nothing to do with that?
Well,
because that's the question. Without revealing who your brother is and too much personal affairs, did he go through any trials? Because if he didn't, then Gustavus Miller's book isn't much use to us then.
With his, well, not gonna, I don't want to jinx anything, but you know, his business is like, he's trying to do something from grassroots and get it up.
Yes, but I'm not talking about now. I'm talking about back in 2009 when the dream happened.
I don't even know what was going on there that much.
Oh, okay. So we'll also consider the entry in Gustavus Miller's book for war. This is the 10,000 Dreams Interpreted, or What's in a Dream. At the end of Wolfman's dream, they mentioned that there was some sort of blizzard or war or blizzard war, which I asked him, could it be a conjecture of a nuclear winter? And he wasn't certain. But reading into the Miller text with regards to the entry for war, it says, to dream of war foretells unfortunate conditions in business and much disorder and strife in domestic affairs. For a young woman to dream that her lover goes to war denotes that she will hear of something detrimental to her lover's character, strangely enough. To dream that your country is defeated in war is a sign that it will suffer revolution of a business and political nature. Well, yeah. Personal interest will sustain a blow either way. If a victory you dream, there will be a brisk activity along business lines. Domesticity will be harmonious. So, yeah, that's the entry of war, and that pretty much rings the last of Gustavus Miller's take on that dream. And this is Journal to the Dreamscape on the Joseph Evaldi Network. I'm Ricky Bearhart here, an ambassador from the Okeanos Network, a parallel brand. The Okeanos Network, audiobooks, poetry, spoken word, paranormal investigations, talk, a creative baptism for every day. Check us out on Spreaker.com.
I'm going to invite on this podcast of mine Joe Vester, and he will give a segue into his show and the dream. and then I will come back on.